We don't go out this week. I'm telling you.
Let me share this too.
All right.
What's up, world? We're back for another week of fun. I would say fun in the sun, but there's no sun. You know, the older you get, the worse your dancing gets, it seems.
You're all right. And the truth is,
I'm the truth teller. They call me, don't forget they call me Mr. Truth.
Oh boy, they call you a lot of stuff, sir.
Yeah, a lot
like I wanted to call you last night, but I refrained.
Whatever. That was a good night last night. I made a lot of money.
I made a lot of money too, so I ain't got a drink in here yet, but we'll clink it together. There we go.
I can play poker in the what we called it, the casino Wilders any day of the week.
Yes, and probably the real casino, because you're doing excellent. You are a awesome protege, if I do say so myself.
So thank you. Now I picked up a little something from you.
A little something. Give me my props where it is due. You picked up more than a little something.
It's not like the producer's hating.
Oh yeah, he definitely hates.
He didn't pick up on nothing but how to ask you for your money.
Listen, that's all he picked up on how to jerk a bag back and forth trying to get some quarters out.
I know that channel.
He was over there. And
the company's like,
oh my, should we leave or should we stay?
This is what these black people do. I see why so much domestic violence.
Look, and then my kids went over my mouth talking about, it was some white people over there. I know. I'm like, my kids ain't no goddamn go good. They just, I tell you try, but they fail you every time, don't they?
Run that mouth.
Oh my gosh. Well, y'all, we just in here bantering. Oh, you know how to do what?
I learned how to pick the temple up after she falls.
Bring it down.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
You know what? Leave it alone. You're right, because we're not going to feed into negativity tonight. We're all about positive vibes. Positive vibes. All right, guys. So what we're doing right now, we're sharing like you're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's perfect. We are sharing. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this banner up that I haven't put up in a long time.
The one that says share
the hell out of this, y'all. Share the hell out of this show. Mm-hmm. Okay? We're going to play this theme song and then we're going to get into it. Share so much
the devil start watching.
Devil say, you know what? These are good people.
These are good people.
I should invite them on there.
They can drink at my house.
All right, let's get it. Oh, yeah.
The Tipplers go anywhere, but they serve a good drink.
Hey.
As long as I can come back.
The devil's rum.
Yeah? I don't know. That just seems...
Putting the Tipplers on a Monday. Let's make it so fun day. Drinking, talking, laughing, tripping out. That's what the Tipplers are all about. Pour your drink, sit back and relax. Right here, Monday, 7:30 is where it's at. Tipping the topics. Come on, let's go. Let's dive in. Enjoy the show.
Ooh, I like that. You did that. All right, we got a good show for y'all today. I hope my co-host here got some good questions.
I have some questions that was rumbling through my brain.
But
the question's not really. How can I phrase it? My questions are more than just curiosity.
Okay, and that's fine.
In general.
Well, everybody probably curious.
Yeah, because I have questions about, like a simple one. One of my questions. Okay. On his website, you can go on a date with him, but you got to pay for the date.
Of course.
So do the woman pay for the meal at the date too?
That's a good question. No, that is a very good question. Well, guys, welcome to our show, Turning the Tipplers Loose. I am Leah.
I am the legendary one.
And
the count.
I haven't come up with a catchphrase for myself yet. I have to figure that out, work that out.
You got to come natural. So
you're right.
You're just not a natural catchphrase person like me.
The catchphrase hater. My name is Aaliyah. And y'all, welcome to Turning the Tipplers Loose. We'll be just talk shit over drinks every Monday night at 7:30 Eastern. So we are here tonight. What you drinking?
I am drinking some Benchmark and some old fashioned that I ain't gonna put no more in this.
I told you it wasn't.
You
show our viewers what kind of mixer that is.
And I was happy when. Can you see it good? Wait, let me turn it right there. And so they make. I see these in Walmart all the time. I don't know if it's a Walmart brand particularly, or whether it's just Walmart. The company uses Walmart to sell their product.
Gotcha.
But I was happy when I first saw them because they had all these. The bottles looked.
They had so
many varieties of different drink mixes.
You want me to confess something, and I know you're gonna like.
This is a confession of your.
You're gonna be like, I knew it. So I'm a good person. I love good deals.
Mm-hmm.
They had a cart of these last year. They were only $1 a piece.
Darn.
I bought a whole bunch of them because I was like, this is so cheap as a mixer. But I guess that's why it was $1. It's not that.
Yeah,
delicious.
they're not that good.
Well, I kind of messed up on that, but that's okay. You know, a good deal is worth trying. I think I bought like 6 of them.
Now, wait, I don't know. What is with women in a deal? That's a question the viewers need to tell me. Why? You know, it's a lot of things that separate a man's mind from a woman's mind. Like when somebody asks a man for directions, we'll tell you a football field up the street. Common terminology. What would a woman say when somebody asks for directions?
I'll say make a right on 1st Street, and then you go to the next street, which would be 2nd Street, and you make a left on 2nd, and then you come down a little bit. It might be a Walmart right there on the left, but then you turn right there at that Walmart at 3rd Street.
It's confusing. So a man would be right up that street. You go see that gas station on your left.
No, I need
Turn
streets.
by that gas
That is
station.
not confusing.
And that four Walgreens up. You go see. This is what I'm.
No. That's confusing. Like,
No,
what the hell? No, you need to tell me
street
streets.
names that you left, right.
Yep.
1st Street,
Yep.
2nd Street,
Yep.
left. No, just give me an object. That
Oh,
object,
no,
like the McDonald's
hated it.
sign. Like, oh, when you see the McDonald's sign, make that right. I think he said. That's exactly what you remember that.
Hated it. I need street names because I am from the city. And in the city, we use street names. You cannot give somebody directions in the city. Say, yeah, you go up down to Papa John's right there on the right-hand side, and you turn up that Papa John. And no, you need to say, hey, on Market Street, make this turn, and on whatever street, you make this turn. You go down 2 streets, and that street.
That's just another difference between man brain and woman brain. But just what's the thing with sales?
No, it's between a country brain.
It's in sales, like, okay, I don't need this object, but since it's on sale, I'm going to buy it because it's cheaper. But why? Just buy it when you need it when it's on sale.
No, because if it's on sale, you're like, oh my gosh, that's such a great deal. And it might be really good. So if it is, I'm going to buy a good bit of them so that I can have it. Okay? That's how it works.
Makes no sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Man, I remember one time I was in Florida with y'all. Me and my cousin went to the grocery store. We wanted some mustard. Now, we just buy mustard to bring to have with our food. So she says, I'm going to buy this mustard at like $2.50. I'm making a price. But they had a gallon size on sale for $3. So she like, Roger, you need to buy that gallon one. That's $3 and you get all the extra mustard.
Unless I was just going to take the mustard home.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, what do I need a gallon jug of mustard for?
I mean, because then you wouldn't have to buy mustard for a long time.
Then you're going to waste it trying to fill it up.
But no, if I go on vacation, I don't care how much the smaller size is. I'm going to buy the smaller size because I don't need to be taking like big objects around.
I don't know, Kelvin. What she told me a minute ago, she'll get the mustard, the big one, the gallon size.
So how was your weekend? Well, yeah, you talk about your weekend. How was your weekend?
Mine was cool. It was a good weekend. Can't complain. I was on call on and off.
Acting like a grouch.
I was mad. Mad. You're never happy when you're stuck at a place longer than you want to be. That don't make anybody happy.
That is true.
But overall, I got to spend time with girlfriend. Got to spend time with family.
Good.
Got to play some poker.
Yes.
A lot of money.
And broke some people. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Y'all welcome back anytime. Anytime.
I mean, so all in all, life is good.
So my weekend, we celebrate my mother's 61st birthday. So happy birthday. And so she wanted to go to Mexican. So we went to Mexican. I actually took her to daytime karaoke and dedicated a song to her. We had a good time.
What did she sing?
I did sing.
No, she sang.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I wanted her to. She should have, but she didn't. I haven't heard my mom sing in years.
So she said she sounded pretty good.
She used to sound very good.
Look, you ain't helping it out just now. She used to. I don't know about these days.
But she used to. And then no,
she said, oh Lord.
Oh, what you doing? Then we went to North Carolina right after that. Went up there for a night, see some peoples, came back and played poker. So it was a very fun-packed weekend. I also realized today after I got off of work that I'm getting older. And I'm like my mother a little bit, but I'm gonna try to reverse this. I know I was coming in the house from my hard days of work. I was just mentally like stressed, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come in this house. Really, honestly, what was on my mind? Stripping naked because I hate clothes.
That's freaky.
Well, it wasn't freaky. It's just okay. First of all, you don't understand the stress that women have wearing a bra like all the time.
But it's your choice to wear.
No, it's not. It's not a choice.
Just because you acclimate to society, don't blame society.
No, not a choice. Not a choice. You have to wear it because if not, it'll be all swinging around. Now, women that got little bitties, they can do what they want to do, but not this shit. I gotta wear one.
Now, see if you're going to work out. I think it's better for you to work out with.
Well, definitely.
Better for women with big breasts to work out with a bra. Just seems like it'll hurt.
Look, I'll be on the treadmill for ball. No, sir. So no. But anyway, came on my way in. All I had on my mind was going to my nice, cool, dark bedroom, stripping off my clothes.
And let your husband ravage your body?
Well, no, I didn't. I wasn't in the mood for that right then.
Dope. Women in their moves.
Yes.
You should see my dick and get in the mood. You should be like, oh, your dick.
You know what? That sounds great. Sometimes it is like that, but it's not always like that, okay? Your dick is not special.
I don't know.
Okay.
Look, I'll show you a picture. I got a halo on it.
No, not a halo. What if they call where it's like a glow? This is natural glow.
Just ambiance something.
Ambiance something. Like the picture comes, it's like brightness. Like, oh my goodness, worship.
Oh, hell is that?
Okay. You know what? You're all right with me. We just go off on these tangents. But anyway, coming into the house, I fell on the steps. And y'all, like, you know, I don't know how y'all feel, but if you fall, you have to fall gracefully, because if not, you're going to break some shit.
Yeah.
I'm a graceful faller. I balled up in like a ball like this and came down like,
how that step sound, Kel, when you get those steps? Was it a grunt? You know,
listen, y'all. I was. Oh my God! Well, I probably did, and I came down. I didn't want to come down on my bad knee.
So, sure, though, did you do that?
So I came down on this elbow, and I scratched my elbow a little bit. I did bruise my knee a little bit, y'all. But I laughed afterwards. My husband was like, "I just wanted to make sure you were okay." Before I started laughing, I was like, "You know." Anyway,
because I would have been on the floor.
Listen, I was
right laying beside you laughing so hard.
First thing I looked around to see if any of my neighbors was outside.
But y'all got the recording camera?
Oh shit!
You didn't see if they'll capture that. Oh, you already checked. That ain't no good.
No good.
Over there
no
good.
Look.
He probably would send it to me, probably.
Listen. So yes, that was my day. So I just went to. I said, let me lay the fuck down. I'm tired. And I just laid down. That's why I was in the room for so long. I was like, you know what? Just forget this. But anyway, I was sore. But guess what? I'm better now because we have a special guest. Yeah. And our special guest is waiting for us in the holding area.
We call it the drinking paradise.
I
assume he's drinking.
Well, I did welcome him to drink with us. I have my tequila and I mix it with a little margarita mix. And you said you got some Benchmark.
Benchmark. Well, you know, this Benchmark, shout out to Benchmark, I take a little picture we're gonna put on my page and hold it. Because Benchmark, I don't know if my liquor connoisseurs out there, but I'm gonna say I might get me wrong. But I'll say Benchmark is a cheap version of Makers. Makers Mark companies. It's like after they filter it so many times and they come back out, this is what they put in this one. But you can get this good tasting whiskey for a quarter of the price of Makers. But for anybody,
my dad drinks that all the time. He loves it.
If you want some good whiskey on a budget,
that's what I'm about to say.
There you go. Now nothing's better than Makers. Now you put some Makers in my mouth, I'll be doing this with my spirit.
You're right. You always get double.
Those liquor guys just come down and bless my soul. I'll be touched. I'll be like touched by angel.
Alcohol makes me feel that way. I think it's Old Elk for me that touches my soul.
Old Elk is good too, but Old Elk be having me acting like an elk.
How elk sound?
I don't know how to elk sound. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that to you. Specialist.
Oh my God. All right, guys. So without further ado, I'm going to read a wonderful introduction. And what's interesting about this fella that we're having today is I heard him on a podcast, one of my favorite podcasts actually, which is Horrible Decisions. And honestly, like, I enjoyed his words, what he was saying, what he was about. I think they kind of gave him a hard time, but I think we're just energetic people. We're fun. Like, I think we're more fun.
Yeah, I like both of them. Just one's a little aggressive.
Thank you. Our producer has given us an elk sound.
Okay, I haven't heard that sound before, but I heard that like a video game. I want to say one of those games you can kill animals. That's the difference.
So anyway, I think they gave him like a hard rap. So I feel like if we like spice it up and give him some really good questions, if we have some fun with it, we're gonna have an awesome time with him today.
Oh yeah, you know I'm gonna ask the freaky questions.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm just saying, like it's just because he got a schedule on the website too. Like, what if you get multiple women?
What's his
I need
prices
to
on
sex. I don't remember any prices. To be
Okay.
honest, the price might not even be. You might can't even see the prices.
Probably not until later.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. So guys, we're gonna read an introduction and we're gonna bring them on. So tonight, you need to share this podcast, okay, guys? Because it's gonna be interesting. Because if you never talked with a professional boyfriend before, / escort / slight gigolo, then tonight is your special night. Even if you have been considering maybe purchasing your own professional boyfriend, or maybe you want to get into the professional boyfriend business, that would be good for you before you got tied up.
You know, it would have been. You know, this dick ain't cheap. You know, I ain't saying his is now.
Okay. So, Mr. Anthony Asanti is a professional boyfriend. He provides warm, sensual, and professional companionship exclusively to women. A sensual warrior who is the world's first and only straight male escort, catering exclusively to women, certified in Bondassage, which we have to ask about because that sounds interesting, and providing it exclusively to women. This former publisher of the online magazine Gigolo International has been a guest blogger on YourTango.com. He has been featured on Simply Sexy SXY.com, Slasher, La Stampa, I think it's La Stampa It, The Sexy Escort Guide, The Shameless Sex Talk with My Mom. That sounds like an interesting show. The Male Whore Podcast, The Sisters of Sensuality, 50 Shades of Play, Radio, and others. His articles on providing high-end male companionship to women have been reblogged and redistributed worldwide. I need to know the difference between high-end and low-end, so maybe that's a question that we can ask too.
Yeah.
Anthony is formerly trained chef in the U.S. military, a connoisseur of vegetarian cuisine who delights in preparing a succulent tasting dining experience for the special friend. He has a fervent love for the arts, studying ancient and indigenous civilizations, human rights and justice, and martial arts. Guys, yes, without further ado, we welcome to you, Mr. Anthony Asanti.
Whoa.
You know what
That was quite energetic. How you doing?
Look, we bring the energy. That's what we do. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm so happy you reached out to us.
Thank you for having me on. And that was a great introduction, and I do love your energy.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Maybe let me go on your website.
She's not for sale. I already got her. Well, she will do a plug for you for a fee.
Oh, no, now that you know what? You got me now. If you got me blushing, you done did a good job. Well, welcome again. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm excited about the show because when I put that post out, I'm like, man, I wonder if somebody's gonna bite at this. And when he emailed me, I'm like, I remember listening to him on Horrible Decisions. And I'm like, no, we gotta bring him on. So this was awesome. Thank you. So, is there anything, Mr. Asanti, that I left out that you want to add to this here?
No, it was pretty good. Yeah.
Well, good. All right, so I guess we can get into our questions a little bit, and we'll have a little bit of fun with it. And the guys, if you're watching, please feel free to throw out some questions in the chat box. We will be happy to throw those out to him as well. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I was laying across the bed after I hurt my knee, and I was like, what kind of questions should we ask today? Because like I said, we like to go off the cusp. I don't like to think too hard about it. But there was some things that I wanted to know specifically. So,
okay. You want me to go first?
I think so.
Okay, so my first question for you, Mr. Male Escort, is okay, so on your website you can book an appointment. Please go in there, ladies. Book an appointment. Not the men though. He didn't want you men. But you can go book an appointment. So if somebody book a date with you, do they gotta pay for the food at the date too?
That's a very good question, and I did hear that when I came on before you brought me on. Yes, the client, my woman friend, pays for all expenses, and if we're going to have dinner, then dinner is she pays for the dinner also.
Okay, gotcha. So, if you're cooking for them, because I'm going to assume that if that's something that
Yeah.
you want, you would do.
Sure.
She's going to pay for all of that too. You get the shopping list together. You go shopping. She goes shopping. Do y'all use a Walmart delivery service? Publix? Look, this was Instacart. I don't know. But yeah, so I guess she purchases all that as well.
It all depends. Well, she pays for all of that, but it all depends on whether or not she is a regular client or if this is our first um, um, adventure together. If it is our first adventure together, then uh, I am going to ask her to get the ingredients. I'll send her what is needed, and she'll have it there, ready for me to um, work my magic in the kitchen with the ingredients. If she is a regular client, then I will take care of everything. I will go to the store and get all the ingredients uh, and meet her over to wherever we're supposed to be meeting, whether or not it's her apartment or whether or not it's a suite at a hotel or whatever, and work my magic in the kitchen.
So look, I'm gonna throw a little joke in there because we're jokesters at heart. So let's say I
Sure.
purchase experience, your chef experience, and this is my first time, and you send me a whole list for something you're gonna make that's just wonderful and exotic, and I forget an ingredient.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yes, like look,
you stupid B. You had one job. Giving you all this, and
you done mess up my experience. Oh goodness, that is too funny.
I was thinking, I was like, what if she don't have that beef? Do he play it off like, well, we'll need that beef?
Yeah, we're gonna improvise.
Or do you be like a prick, like just eat it. Give your money back. I'm going home.
That is too funny. But I'm sure you'll improvise. You'll make it seem like it just never was missing. Am I right?
It's never a problem. We are all human beings. Human beings make mistakes sometimes, and we just have to be flexible and go with the flow.
Absolutely.
I don't know
I
if it's
understand.
Keep going.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I've never made a mistake like that in getting food, but of course I've had my share of mistakes in life and even in this business, and I know that you can't get all upset and bent out of shape about something like that. You just have to work with what you have and move on and make the best of it. There's really no situation that I think of as losing or as terrible. It's just a learning experience and an opportunity for you to grow and to develop, not only as a professional boyfriend in my case, but as a human being. We all need to be tolerant towards one another.
Gotcha.
That's true.
And hey, that's life. That's a life lesson. You just gotta improvise and go with the flow. Don't let nothing mess up your flow.
I don't know if it was me or you tell me. Give me your feedback now.
Okay.
When he said flexible, I just automatically thought about sex. And then he said something else after that, like
I was just so invested. Normally my mind do go left, But for some reason, it didn't go left that time.
What's going
So
on?
I have to be a little more okay.
Yeah,
I gotta
get the fog out your head.
Game. Exactly. Okay.
So they ain't tipping.
I ain't tipping enough.
So how much? So what if you start cooking and the woman wants you to cook naked? That ever happened?
It has never happened. However, I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Mm-hmm. Good answer. What I say on Family Feud? Okay.
You right though. You right. You right. The grease popping on your friend.
Well, you gotta have an apron on at least.
Mm-hmm.
No,
yeah, that would be a concern, but
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, being naked is nice, but I don't think I would want to like completely naked. You just swinging in by the food and all kinds of. Just put the apron on, and then after you can take it off. Yeah.
I don't know that. Me personally, if I'm like, hey baby, I want you to cook naked. Just put a bow tie. I want to see it all.
No, but you know what? I was talking to my husband the other night, and it's like sometimes he'll fix something to eat, and he brings it in the room. Mm-hmm. And I am a total person that likes to be naked all the time, mm-hmm. but I can't eat the food naked.
Huh?
Yes, I gotta put on like my house, a dress or something slip. Yeah, so I wouldn't cook completely naked. That just wouldn't be me. I've never done that ever.
We gonna set her up one day. We gonna next time we all the trip together, bring her the food. And I'm gonna come in the room, Kelvin. You tell me to come on in, watch you naked. I obviously cover up with some colors.
Right.
Or you can have whatever you want.
Whatever.
But then you can't. Well, I guess if you that bad, that kill. But yeah, you gotta cover with the covers. Then you can't get dressed. You have to be naked.
No, I'm gonna get dressed. I'm probably gonna be already if I know he's bringing it, unless he surprises me. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna already.
So that's surprising.
You know what? All right. So let's see. I wanted to ask something about the money situation, not necessarily how much, but I think we got a couple of questions. Okay, so somebody said, question, do you have a set amount of slots you have available to be in the professional relationships? If so, how do you manage them as far as sharing your time is concerned?
I'm trying to understand the question. Do I have a certain amount of slots?
Like, for instance, I guess
she needs to provide some.
I'm thinking she's talking about like, do you have a certain amount of maybe like people you see in a week or in a day or in a month? Or does it matter? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you have a limit, I guess, set for you?
No.
Okay. Okay.
So how do you maintain
whoever? I don't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm saying so professional relationship. Give me kind of like what that really means.
And the difference between high end and low end, kind of sum that up quickly within that too, because you said high end, but I've never had the experience at all. So I need to know if I partake in this experience, if I have it, what's low end, so I can get on the high end.
I thought you were about to say I've only had low end.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let me deal with high end versus low end. Mm-hmm. These days, many guys are trying to get into this business, but they don't know what they're doing. They don't know the ins and outs of providing companionship. They don't know. They really don't even have. They haven't developed themselves as human beings, much less their seduction skills. All they're offering a woman is sex. What I do is offer a woman a lot more than sex. What I've observed is that when a woman engages me, she's looking for a lot more than what she's asking for. But I provide the companionship, I provide the emotional support. What usually the woman is trying to get at is feeling her own feminine power and energy through my masculine power and energy.
Hmm.
And so I'm providing that um, through Bondassage. I'm providing it through our conversations. I'm providing it through the things that I do for her in the kitchen. I'm providing it through my sensuality, all those things that a boyfriend or a man in her life would provide.
Gotcha. Because
O-
somebody
Okay,
asked me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
there was another question there
Oh yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, what is a professional relationship?
Right. What? And I think he kind of summed that up when he was
Yeah, it
saying how I
sounded like
love.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody was asked because I was telling them, the guest that we was having today, and they were saying, well, why would a woman want to pay for a boyfriend? I'm not gonna lie, the pickings is slim out here. And when you start talking to people, you realize they have no substance. They have nothing
Yep.
going on upstairs. They think they got it all going on, but they don't. They have no conversation that's worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
They want so much and give so little. And when you're dealing with, and I think when you're dealing with the type of clientele he's dealing with, which when I was listening to the other show, he's like, look, these women, are successful people. They might have a little bit more money. They're not going to take all this shit. You know what I'm saying? and I ain't even got it going on like that. I ain't taking no shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you're dealing with that type of woman, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like if I was in that market and I had some money to spare, I probably would pay for a service like that just so that I could have some stimulating conversation with a person of the opposite sex, because it's a hard life out here.
And Leah, I think that you have hit the nail right on the head. All of my clients, every one of them, have told me that the conversations that we have when we're together is just as important to them as anything else that we might do.
Yeah.
And I want to also mention, and I'll give you a chance, Rod, uh, that the relationships that I have um, with women are pretty much the same kinds of relationships that one would have in an unprofessional or non-compensated relationship. It's just that we know from the beginning that that the relationship uh, has is going to be a relationship for a certain amount of time. That time may be just for a couple of hours. It could be for an overnight. It can be for a weekend. I've had some with clients for 6 years. So
Oh wow.
we just know that at a certain point that is going to end, and she gets to choose when that will be, or if and when that will be.
Gotcha.
So you got them like auto pay, auto drive.
So that was my next question. So I'm sure you get your money in advance, right?
Uh, for everyone, first of all, I don't call the time that I have with my clients dates. I refer to them as adventures because
Okay.
they are going to be such um, a
Slap.
memorable experience and such a unique experience that to call a date really is
Is beneath
doesn't
you. That is
do it
less than
justice.
an adventure.
Yeah,
Now,
That is less
um,
than an adventure.
I like that. I like that. They call it a
Yes, absolutely. So I want to kind of get this question out the way. I'm not even gonna waste your time with it. I'm gonna answer it. Does he plan
sure.
to marry? Is he married? You were married before, right? You said you got a divorce. You can correct me
Yes,
anytime if I'm wrong, but you're not
I was
currently married.
married. Yes, correct,
Okay. And I
correct.
guess we can switch it to, would you marry again one day?
Uh, I would not rule it out, but
Okay.
it would have to be under the same circumstances that I had when I was married,
Gotcha.
in that I don't care for monogamy. I've never liked it, even when I was in monogamous relationships. So
Mhm.
I would tell a woman, and even now, and this is the deal I had with my wife. When I asked her to marry me, I said, the condition is if I ever wanted another wife,
Mm, gotcha.
then I would be able to get one. And she was fine with that. I just
Okay.
didn't know at the time that it was going to morph into becoming a professional boyfriend for women.
Gotcha.
But I don't have an issue with marriage except with the monogamous part of it.
That most people expect, because some people don't expect monogamy in marriage.
Why I think? I mean,
Right.
I
Some
think
people
you get married, that's
expect
the
it,
whole purpose.
not all.
Necessarily, though. I mean,
Mhm.
well, we've
Well,
talked about that before.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that is the reason most people get married. I don't think anybody got married and did not expect it to not be just that.
That's not true. You get married because it's an institution that brings two people together that care about each other. Not only that,
Mhm.
you get married because sometimes you have to get married in order to get the things that you need from out of the
I
marriage.
said most.
Right.
I'm not saying
No, I
exclusively.
know.
But I think most people that get married, they do that because they want to have that. This is
I
my
get what
person.
you're saying.
This is- we
Most
already
people
won.
that get married think about it in a monogamous way,
Yeah.
but not all people. Some people get married and know that they're not going to be monogamous because, like you said, that is that's the agreement that you have.
Mhm.
And either way, it's fine.
Tax breaking, they do.
Tax rate.
Listen,
Listen, because I can get life insurance on somebody without being married to them. That's for sure. Okay, now hold up. So he said he can have multiple relationships at once. He's okay with that. He has no certain time slots, know how many people a week, all of that good stuff, Tasha. Now, I thought this was a good question, and that's why I'm gonna bring this up. So, would you cater to two women who does everything together? So, like a perfect example, I guess maybe two women that maybe are in a relationship, but they just want a professional boyfriend to take them on an adventure, as you call them. Would you be open to that?
Oh, for sure, I'm sure.
Of course. I've been asked to do that a number of times.
Double the money.
Double
money, same
the
adventure.
fun, yeah. Okay. You know what? We stupid. Don't you worry. Okay. That's awesome though. Like, I think that's interesting.
That would be.
Have you ever had that happen?
Here's the deal.
Me too.
I've had some women who have contacted me with it, but it has never come to pass at this point. Here's how I see anything that I do with a woman or women. We all have needs, wants, and desires. Now, I'm here for a woman's needs, wants, and desires. Now, if that is just having a great conversation, then I'm there for that. If that is for a nice meal prepared by a man, or even just going out to her favorite restaurant, I'm fine with that. If it's something even more deeply intimate, I'm good with that too. Whatever she desires is what I'm there for. So I get some requests that you know that are okay, and there's nothing wrong with it. I never judge.
Right.
I'm here for her.
So, having said that, and I had this question right on the tip of my tongue. Here we go. Have you ever thought about teaching classes or having seminars or something like that to teach men, young men, old, cat daddies, whatever, to develop that art? Because I think it's a lost art. And trust me, now you ain't gonna lose out on no money because they ain't gonna listen to you. They just gonna pay you. But have you ever have you ever thought about doing something like that?
You have to be a little more specific. When you talk about the art, are you referring to actually teaching them how to be a professional boyfriend, or are you talking about seduction skills?
I guess I'm talking about seduction skills, yeah, because not necessarily professional boyfriend. We can visit that later, but I was more so talking about the art of seduction, the art of like you were saying earlier, catering to that woman, her desires, because what men don't kind of understand is that if you can do that, then you tap into the very essence of that individual. Like you don't have nothing to worry about after that, unless that person is just a damn crazy person. But yeah, go ahead.
I have thought about it, and I actually do offer consultations, but most guys are not willing to pay for and to undergo a process that will help them to be a better seducer and or catering to a woman's sensual craving.
Why do you think that's so?
I'm not sure, but my guess is that they figure because they have a male member, that is all that they need.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But that, yeah, I
If
ain't
it
gonna get
doesn't
it.
to me. And let me tell you, it doesn't really make sense to me because I know that even the best seducer out there
Mm-hmm.
uh, can fail at this business. I know that also a guy who may be the sweetest talker on the planet, says all the right things, may not still get a client because of his behavior, his demeanor, his attitude, uh, and or his lack of business knowledge and acumen in the business of providing companionship to women. I hired a male escort coach and I hired a male escort mentor, two different guys, to teach me how to get into this business, how to present myself, the do's and don'ts of the business, and most guys are unwilling to do it. That's
So
why they don't make any money in it.
Okay, now it's a two-part question. So
Sure.
I think people want to know how profitable is this business? Are you like living high on the horse? Are you
pound the hog.
high on the hog? On the horse, Lord, the horse. High on the hog.
Now, what would be high on the horse? Because high on the hog.
Well, I don't know where he's living at, but I mean, okay, where we living? Are you living in Lexington or are you stuck in Barnwell? You know.
Anyway, so yeah,
I know on top of that, what give us some do's and a few don'ts.
Okay, the question is, am I living high on the hog? And what are some do's and
on the
don'ts?
horse, in his words. Oh my goodness.
Well, I would have to say I would. I get your point, but I'm a vegetarian, so I don't live on the on the horses or the hogs. So, however, um, uh, in this business, it can be feast or famine, just like any other business. I'll tell you right now, or I guess I should say, at the height of the COVID epidemic, especially where I'm based, which is New York City.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, I was in famine. It was very. I think I had about one or two clients total during
Mm.
that whole time. Now that New York and New Jersey and parts of Connecticut that share the borders with New York, uh, their cases or new cases are going down. Clients are starting to book again. But it that was just an example of feast and famine, and the same thing happens even with female escorts. We do not live in a bubble. There we are susceptible to economic trends
Mhm.
throughout the respective countries in which we work, or even the respective areas in which we operate. So,
Gotcha. So let's get up to these questions here.
Oh, you want to ask something for the fans?
Yeah. So would you ever turn down money for any reason? Is one question. Except for the obvious reason, like if they can't pay, they're not serious. Have you ever had to turn down and say, you know what, I'm just not going through with this?
Mhm.
have I ever had to turn down some money?
Turn down for what?
Yeah, I have, because I didn't think that the client was a genuine client. Let's see, besides the obvious of them not serious or willing to pay. Yeah, when I didn't think that she was a genuine client, I've didn't even entertain. In fact, just the other day, I got an email saying that uh, a woman wanted to see me online,
Mm-hmm.
and that she was going to pay me with a um, with, what do you call it? Not a cashier's check, but some with an electronic check.
Oh, okay.
In other words, she needed access to my bank account.
Oh no, that was a what you calling people?
What I took
That
was
was
Scam.
that was like, this is expensive. You know how much a cash? You know you got to spend a certain amount of money to get a cashier's check.
Oh no, yeah. Now you right. You would have been broker than you were during COVID, so you definitely don't want to. You definitely don't want to partake in that. Let's see. So I know turn the tip. That's our show.
Lord, that's us.
That's
yeah.
our show.
It's better than that.
When
though.
you were on Horrible Decisions, you said like what your kind of off limit thing was, or your turn off, which I think you were saying disrespect. So other than disrespect, what's off limits to you? Like if a woman said, I wanted to do this, this, and that, you would say, you know what, that's off limits for me.
Um, I would need a specific example, but I'm very open and non-judgmental when it comes to certain things in the bedroom. It's
Gotcha.
all
Okay.
good. Here's my philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
I know, after studying some of the ancient sexual sciences, that sex
Wait.
is
Let's run
very
that back.
broad.
Let's run that back. You know,
Let's eat off that horse
let's talk
again.
about
On that
sex,
horse.
baby. No.
You said ancient sexual sciences? Is that what it was?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
he's like, yes,
Um,
absolutely.
the Kama Sutra is an ancient sexual science.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There was one even in. I know that some people in the Asar Asset Society. Have you ever heard of the Asar Asset Society?
I have
Never.
not.
They are an African comedic organization based here in New York, in Brooklyn, but they
Uh-huh.
have chapters uh, in all over the United States, in the Caribbean, and even a couple on the African continent, where they are trying to bring back a lot of the knowledge of the of African slash. I guess there's no other way to put it. I don't like using this term. Egypt. That's not what we called ourselves. Um,
Gotcha.
but one of the names that we've been taught that the people, the civilization of the Nile Valley, call themselves, or one of the civilizations is Kemet, KMT, and uh, they had a sexual science also.
Gotcha.
But anyway, um, I know that the sexual experience is extremely broad, and one can use it just for one's pleasure,
Mm-hmm.
or one can use on that's one end of the spectrum. On
What
the
do you
other
think?
end of the spectrum is actually using it to go into a quote unquote spiritual realm and to communicate with other beings and other entities in different universes, different realms, different. It's large. It's
It
extremely big.
sounds like the experience of the liquor gods.
The liquor gods.
It's a certain liquor where you get a different god, mix this liquor, get different gods.
Oh gosh, we be tripping.
So right, we bet.
Let me
Yeah,
double these
let's
questions
get
because we
our
have a lot
let's
of
get our
questions.
viewers. Our viewers
Yes,
got questions.
Sure,
we
let's
want our
go.
viewers questions in because they're important. So I got a dual question that's kind of similar. So somebody said, have you ever had a married client that a husband didn't know that you was using the service? I remember you saying on the other podcast that you've had husbands hire you for this service. So also, did they like to watch if you did?
Uh, I've had husbands that knew and some that did not know. Some of the husbands or boyfriends like to watch. I've had most of them like to watch, or are in there with us together. And I've
Gotcha.
had some that did not want to watch and did not want to share in the experience at all, and did not want to know about the adventures that we had.
I
Although, I
gotta
mean,
ask
the
an inappropriate,
specifics about the adventures, even though
I
he
gotta
knew that we had
ask
an
an
adventure
inappropriate
together.
question.
Gotcha.
You ready for this inappropriate question?
Oh boy.
I don't know, but go ahead.
So what you better words than me. Kuka,
Who the what?
the what do you call it when the man want his woman to sleep with a black man?
Oh, cuckold.
So all these people that did that, were they Caucasian?
No, no. Well, let's make sure that we're on the same page with things. Cuckold is something slightly different.
Okay.
That is, uh, from my understanding, that is a sort of relationship whereas the man wants you to be with his wife or girlfriend,
Right.
uh,
And he wants
and
to watch, right?
Yeah.
and he wants to watch. And I get the impression that they want to also be humiliated in the process while that's going on.
Okay. Now
I
that
could
could
be wrong, but that is
it could
my
be
impression.
fiction. Right. So
Now, hold on. Let me finish here.
Yeah.
There are, I have had couples are close to about 40% of my clientele, and none of them to date have requested me to uh, try to humiliate or shame the man.
Okay.
So I would say, to answer your question, I've been with couples. Uh, um, there, as I mentioned, there are about 40, maybe even 45% of my clientele. Have I ever had the cuckolding one? I don't think so. Only because no one is no one has really asked me to shame or try to humiliate the husband.
So, what advice would you have for a guy that may want to try that situation, but they feel intimidated by the other, like for instance, like let's say a couple hired you, but he doesn't quite feel up to par to perform in that situation. How do you think that person can overcome that?
Okay. You mean he doesn't feel like he is able to perform? You mean with us, or do you us three together, two men and a woman together, or
Correct.
or you just or it's okay with okay, all right. So then I would think in that situation there is he can participate to whatever extent that he feels comfortable with. When I'm dealing with couples, their comfort, both of their comfort and safety is really the most important thing to me. And he can hold her hand if he's comfortable with that. If he's not comfortable with that, he can just
Man, that's freaky.
watch.
That is freaky.
He can go.
I only hear men say hold. I only hear women say hold my hand, like when I'm having a baby. You holding your hand or you taking a black dick?
I don't need no hard, but and I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it. But instantly when you said that, I imagined myself.
I'm about to take this dick.
Hold my hand,
baby. You'll be wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We are silly. But that is the first thing that I heard. But if people feel comfortable with that, it's fine.
Let it be the man though, like
right.
Hold my hand, baby. You gotta say it.
Hold my hand, baby.
Why you need my hand?
I want this dick, and I want you to hold my hand. No, really. So no, grab my titty. Don't grab my. No,
well, you right.
Okay. All right. Let me try to help you all out. some women in these situations are very concerned about how their husbands or boyfriends will feel, and what I've observed is that to the extent that the husband can be there or boyfriend can be there to give her some assurances and encouragement that it's okay and that this is for you. I'm here just for your support. Then that helps her to relax and enjoy the adventure.
Yeah, but you gotta support me in the way I want to be supported. Like I don't want you to hold my hand,
but
what I want you to say, get it, baby. You get it. Yeah. But
that's the only reason.
But I get what you're saying. Everybody has a different level of what they consider support. I don't know if the holding hand would work. I don't know if cheering me on, get up on that high horse, or eat off that high horse. What?
Yeah, high horse. Too much because Peter will come down on us. That Peter will put $100 million on us.
But that's what high on the hog means. You're eating high off the hog. So when you said high off the horse,
I really eat good. I'm eating.
You know? Okay. Look, somebody told us to focus. Okay. Oh. Oh, he did. He said that he has had women that their husband has known and their husband hasn't known. He did clarify that. He'd probably just take that money. How else you gonna deal with?
I mean, has he ever had anybody that the husband find out about it. That's what.
So,
okay.
So watcher want to know, like, have you ever had a confrontation with a husband of a woman that was married?
No.
Okay.
No. Not.
I would either. I honestly would not. I mean, I'm gonna be really honest with you. If I was a man and I found out that my wife hired someone, I would never approach that. Why would I do that?
I'd be too ashamed. You see it,
and I don't mean it to be bad as in shame, like the profession is not.
Yeah, now against him, I'd be ashamed of myself.
Right.
My woman had to step in the streets to get what she wanted satisfied.
But you know what though? That's not always the case though. In that, it's just going back to his statement earlier about how he would never be in a monogamous relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that you're not satisfied sexually. That just means that you may not be satisfied completely, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally.
But you know me, I'm big on communication. I talk a lot. I have the widest vocabulary of all my friends.
That's not true.
And that's so true. No. So true. All the words you say, I know. I just don't use.
You didn't even know cuckold. What are you talking about?
I'm who taught it to you on the show live. We can go back. We go back and watch.
But you get what I'm saying as far as everything is not always sexual. And his profession of entitling himself professional boyfriend proves that theory.
Yeah, his profession is cool. Now, personally, my personal thing, I think he more applies to, because it's a waving history that women now focus more on career than used to be about family. And men with career. Now these women out here getting these great careers, making money. I'm proud of them. Do your thing. I'm happy about it.
Right.
That's what I want for all. I love independent women.
Right.
And but I got an independent woman, so boop boop, my baby princess. Got to put that out there too. But nonetheless, I think when you become an independent woman and focus on your career your whole life, you end up in that kind of situation.
I think
that's he built the. I think people.
I don't think that is why. I think it's because, well, now y'all two men, now y'all help me out. I think it's an intimidation factor when you know exactly what you want.
Only intimidated if you are weak. I'm about to say a weak N-word, but I ain't gonna use that word.
No, he doesn't like that word. Don't use that.
Yeah, weak. Only if you. And I can say, I don't want to say weak because I gotta find a better way to describe a man who isn't up to par.
When we say weak, right? I think it should be another word for weak, like. I guess not. Okay, how about this? Not on the same mental capacity, mental level. Mm-hmm. Because for me, I'm very vocal about what I want, what I desire, what I like, what I don't. I'm very forward.
And I love opinions. I want to know what you want. What do you want? Because I want you to. I'll tell you what I want, but tell me what you.
But when you tell men that, they act retarded. Like what? Like you're a puzzle. I'm like, how am I a puzzle? When I'm telling you what I want.
Now, women are a tidbit of a puzzle, not saying negative or I think women get away with being a puzzle. A man can't get away with that. I think a woman can be indecisive. A man can't.
I don't think it's that difficult. I think it's very simple.
Well,
especially if somebody is vocalizing their desires.
Well, no, I don't think. No. You're right. Okay. I agree. Communication is a big thing. I agree. How do people tell? But what I'm saying is, like, if a situation happens in a relationship, a man is more upheld to what he says than a woman is. So I was like, well,
because y'all stay backtracking, yo. But we can get into this all day.
We can do that back for all day. We can depend on that.
But at it, we'll get into this. Matter of fact, we should really have a show. And I know we kind of, like I said, we always sidetrack, especially when we start drinking. But we should have a show like specifically designed about that kind of male-female type of dynamic and relationship to kind of really get into the nuts and bolts of it. Because a man says he wants this and that, but then when he gets that, he can't handle it.
But a woman also says what they want and this and that, and then when you do one thing, you go back and they like, well, this thing, and it's like women get a lot more leeway in relationships.
But okay,
than a man.
So
gets.
Having said that, you're right. Now I can see if I backtracked a month into it, a week or a day. But when you're like somebody like me that has been in this game and married for 20 years, I'm not the same person I was when I was 20 or 19.
And that's okay, but that should be reflected on the relationship. It
Correct.
should be like, well, you know, I used to love spinach, but I don't like it anymore.
Correct.
And I'm sorry I was married to you for 18 years and like spinach, but
see, that ain't me. I'm gonna let you. I don't like spinach anymore. Please fix me some string beans. But if a motherfucker fix me fucking spinach tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, didn't I tell you I don't like it?
No, then I'll be like, nah. I was with you for 18 years. And you were getting spinach. You don't have to spinach.
But I said yesterday, I don't want spinach.
See?
I like
spinach in your face.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah.
Why are you getting this? You should have got her.
No, he's like, I'm gonna let these crazy people sort this out. Okay, so somebody had a question. Do they have like safe words to say they are overwhelmed or just not comfortable? Do couples or women just back out?
But you're right.
I wouldn't give a refund.
Yeah,
I'm like, you know what?
Do they have safe words to say they are overwhelmed or not comfortable? I don't know if that's one question or three questions in there. I don't really know what she's asking.
So let's break it down. Because to me, you have safe words only if you are engaging in BDSM. So let's ask that question. Have you ever kind of delved into that? Well, I guess if you do okay, hold up. Let's backtrack. Bondassage.
Yeah.
What is Bondassage?
Okay. All right. Bondassage is a set of practices, implements, and techniques that intertwines a sensual massage with some BDSM techniques. Now, sensual massage is really a regular massage that does not stop at the erogenous zones. So you can massage the neck, you can massage the hands, you can massage the feet, you can massage the calves, and you can massage the pussy also. And you can massage the breasts, and you can massage not only the primary erotic zones, but also the secondary and the tertiary as erotic zones.
What is tertiary? Help me out. What's the name one tertiary zone?
Here you go. So, Rod, do me a favor here. Leah, hold out your hand. Hold out your hand, palm up.
Okay.
I have to show this to you.
That was perfect.
Okay.
Like I did this. Okay.
Take your finger. Rod, take your finger and lightly take your fingernail and rub from the top of her index finger slowly, very slow, all the way through to her wrist. Slow. You can't go too slow.
You're going too fast. I'm just joking.
You like that too much, you'll freak yourself. I think you dripping now.
Do you feel some pleasure there?
I ain't gonna lie.
Leah, do you?
The wrist, but up in here, I was like, oh hell yeah! I was like, yo, friend.
Somebody watching.
I'm about to say, look, friend.
Do you want your teeth?
No, friend. I want my teeth, friend. But no, honestly. But no, honestly, yes. Like up, like in that index finger area, I was like, oh yeah.
It's a very important finger for men too.
Do you want to try?
Huh? You ain't get me beat up.
It works on a guy too.
You're right. Oh, hold up. Oh, here we go. She said, don't know if I'm approving of this hand stitch. Y'all are having?
I'm gonna get cursed out.
I'm helping you out, okay? He is just practicing on my
see what she said next?
We're gonna watch it, bitch. Look, we're just practicing, okay? Just for you, okay? I'm just the test dummy.
I'm about that life though. We could be riding the car. I'm rubbing that finger.
She gonna be driving.
I'm a drive. I'll be like, you hold his hand. She be like, oh, and the car seat, like, yeah.
You know what? Cut it. Okay, Bondassage. So that that was awesome. That was awesome.
And it's designed to give the receiver an exploration of his or her sensual depth.
Gotcha.
I
Now I'm
want
with
to
it.
find out just
Class. Let me look this up. No, I'm joking.
How much class
it was originally created specifically for men by Jaylene Bennis. She was a certified massage therapist. Guys were asking her. Obviously, the guys were getting an erection, and they wanted her to go a little bit further. So she invented that to give them a release. So she went on ahead and codified it, and she.
What? But go ahead and finish. No, go ahead and finish. I'm going to say something. But go ahead.
Okay. All right. She codified it, and then she started offering certifications to practitioners. I took the class, paid a whole lot of money for it, but it was well worth it. Now, because my clients are only women, I had to modify it, change it up a little bit for a woman's sensibilities.
Gotcha, right.
Yeah.
But you know what? That finger stuff is for real. Like, I'm gonna ask, I guess, Roger. Like, you ain't never had like a woman like suck your fingers. Like, that will literally bring you to the point.
I'm not a germaphobe by any means, but I am kind of like that. It's like it seems almost nice to me. Don't put my fingers. I don't put my finger in my own mouth, so I don't want anybody else's mouth.
But you gotta try it because
so you never been hitting a woman from the back. You stick your finger in her mouth.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah,
you gotta try it.
Well,
look, Alice, I ain't gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna leave that one to you. He touched my finger, but I ain't gonna touch his fingers. Listen, no, seriously, you have to try because like it kind of emulates things.
We're waiting for marriage though. Don't be putting these
please
unnatural thoughts, you deviant. Okay?
No, he literally texted me, "What y'all sexual deviants doing today?"
You gotta tell the people.
You're like, no, it's funny when you go.
I have a way with words, so I have to say.
No, because before you used to call me a coon, now you call me a sexual deviant.
Well, now you that's sexual deviant.
Look, I prefer sexual deviant, so just continue that.
Sexual coon.
Sexual
You're a sexual coon. Who's a sexual coon?
You know what? No. Hold on. Okay.
I ain't put around with dog. You can have us kicked off the air for real.
Mr. Asanti, I do apologize. More we drank, we kind of just okay. So I'm looking at my list of questions. And I'm trying to think like if there was anything that we did. I mean, we literally
and a random question now, because you know I'm the one that's always about in these more sexual things. Like, have you ever been on too many adventures a day where you was like, darn, I can't have sex last time, I can't do it no more?
No. There was a time that that I did overbook in a day because I thought, well, a client was going to cancel, but she didn't. But I was able to postpone one, so I didn't have to overexert myself. I try. I really do try to schedule them out.
I got you.
Because
you want to be top-notch adventures.
Of course, that's exactly it.
Now, do you wear condoms with all the people?
Do not ask that question. That is a faux pas question.
What do that mean?
He can answer if he wants to, but during my research, I felt that was like the number one question you don't ask. That's why you do research.
That's what real people want to know. You brought it out here raw because raw thinking to feel the good best.
It does, but we're going on and on. I'm not gonna let him answer that question.
Okay,
listen,
you ain't gotta answer.
No, because I feel like that's like a faux pas question.
I think that's back to the.
Do you have raw sex?
No, I'm above that. I'm in a relationship waiting for God to tell us to put the ring on.
You know what? We're not gonna go there either. But anyway,
Let me just put it this way.
okay.
With every woman,
Mm.
I practice safe sexual practices
I'm here for
with
that.
every woman.
That's awesome because that tells us that look, we're safe. No,
Yeah.
but seriously, that tells us that we're safe and that we're okay and we can be ourselves. Like that would make me feel like okay, I'm safe. I can be as sexually uninhibited as I possibly can.
I agree
Yep.
with you completely.
And I've even
We gonna say I'm sorry.
Going back to your question, an earlier question that just reminded me, there have been clients that requested no condom, and I was like, no money is worth putting my health at risk and any clients beyond me at risk.
I agree. Like you better come with your HIV, hepatitis.
Even then, you like now.
But those are only two you gotta worry about right now.
Hepatitis and what?
HIV.
That's only two. Herpes
too. Yeah.
I'm about to say you left that out, sir.
You can see that.
No, not always. That thing stay dormant for a little bit.
But you can't get it when it's dormant. I'm not.
You can't? I'm
not promoting non-condom sex. Okay?
Do not spread that.
I'm a virgin waiting for the Lord to put a ring on.
The Lord gonna put it on?
Hmm? He will. Come on, they shoot down. The morning star come down.
The morning star.
Bring the ring.
Done. Okay, so Mr. Anthony Asante, is there anything that you would like to add? And I'm going to get you to do a little, your website situation, your promo situation. But other than that, is there anything that you feel like we didn't quite touch on that you want our audience to know about you?
Sure. Many people, when they think of a professional boyfriend or one of the more popular terms, straight male escort catering to women, the first thing that goes to their mind is the sex. It's not always about sex. And it is not only about sex. As I mentioned earlier, I think that what is really going on here is that we live in a world where women unfortunately have to be in a masculine energy mode for longer than they really need to be. And men unfortunately are in a feminine energy role longer than they need to be. And most women, the women that engage me, some have been some high-powered business executives that I would not want to be across the table in opposition with in business. But they are moving and grooving and being a shaker so much and so deeply that a lot of times they don't feel their feminine power and energy, and they want to recapture that through my masculine power and energy. So it's much more, it's much deeper than sex. Now, don't get me wrong, I love sex. I'm great with it. But I think that there's something much, much deeper going on there. And I think that is really at the crux of what is happening. With the high power clients, the the women who are considered extremely successful and are beautiful, and the housewife, all of them, they're wanting to feel their femininity, and the society that in which we're in now. Let me make this clear. So I am not advocating, well, let me put it this way on the more positive note. I have daughters. I want my daughters to have all of the opportunities that their minds and skills can take them.
Gotcha.
However, I want them to be women in every sense of the word. They don't need to be imitation men. Men don't need to be imitation women.
Right.
They need
I
to
get
be full human beings with their masculine and or feminine self. They need to, in other words, they need to have a healthy balance. They need to have a healthy balance. We all need a healthy balance.
I totally agree.
Balance,
we totally
healthy
agree.
Balance is the secret to life.
It really is. All right, so tell us, so Mr. Asanti, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for reaching out to us. I hope we wasn't too bad because we can act up sometimes.
No, not at all. I enjoy it.
We appreciate you. Thank you for giving us a different perspective. When we started this show, we always said that we wanted to do something that was fun, that was enjoyable, something that we do every day. Sit around, talk shit about different topics, and get different perspectives.
Since we all three on, we still on.
We still on.
Anybody got a gin and juice?
A gin and juice?
Anybody got somebody that done pissed them off
for the week? You know, I'll get pissed off pretty frequently.
We both get pissed off.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what pissed me off. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna take this banner down. This is what has pissed me off for the week. The people that's talking shit about Cardi B and her divorce and saying that, oh, well, a hoe gonna be a hoe and that's why he don't want you. But then at the same time, he did cheat. And I'm not saying that cheating is not forgivable. That's not what I'm saying. But then this bitch ass motherfucker, this is my gin and juice for the week. This bitch, I'm sorry, mister, but I'm a cuss because whenever I'm talking about my gin and juice, I'm a cuss. This MFer gets on here and said the reason why he divorced her because the WAP song was embarrassing to him. No, sir, because you met her knowing she was a stripper.
So he cheated on her.
She's an embarrassment.
And that's he's embarrassed by her.
Yes. When you met her, you knew she was on the pole. When you met her, you knew she was a rapper of, that kind of caliber where she said things sexual and did all this.
But listen,
I'm pissed off because guys are bitches.
The guys see the silver lining.
What's the silver lining?
He never said she had that WAP.
Well, he never
said she had that WAP.
The WAP kept him, but guess what? I feel like he was wrong for that. But tell you the truth, even if that was the reason, he should have never came out and said that because that is their business.
On that situation though, when you talk about though, my whole thing is that everybody was against that marriage. There's a slap in your face, and then
she took your pitiful ass, dread ass back.
But everybody said, what she's looking at is everybody in the world and living, the rich world, was saying, it's a bad decision. Nicki Minaj, bad decision. Now she gotta look back at that mirror, be like, I made a bad decision. I'm filing for divorce against this man I told y'all was the right person.
Right. But you know what? That don't even matter because even if you retract,
it matters a lot.
No, let me tell you something.
Egos get hurt.
I don't give a F about an ego. I don't care about no ego. Let me tell you something. When it comes down to marriages and love and relationships, it's a complex shit. So even if he did cheat on her and she took him back, that's fine. That was her business. That was her prerogative. But the part that fucks with me is that you're going to come out and say that the WAP song embarrassed you when you knew she was up there slinging that WAP. Okay, for the longest, in a stripper way, in a song way, in her whole essence. She is sexual in her whole essence. So you're a punk for that. And you should just kept that to yourself. But the reason why you came out, and this goes right back to what Mr. Asante said, you're a feminine ass motherfucker because you can't handle it. So she filed for divorce and she don't want nothing to do with you. You should have just took that L and went on about your business and left it at that because you married her like that. You married her like that. If that's the case, you should have found somebody that wasn't a pole. You should have found somebody that didn't rap seductively.
I'm still with everybody say y'all wouldn't make it too many years, and
well, it is what it is. I was hoping they would make it,
so,
but I mean,
where you at, Mr. Asanti?
Mr. Anthony.
Yes. Who's your
where I'm at?
Who's your what's the thing again?
Gin and juice.
Your gin and juice.
So our gin and juice is like something that just made you mad. You got two sides of the story, the gin and the juice. Something that just irritated you this week.
Something that irritated me this week.
Yes. You seem like a very peaceful person.
Nothing.
Like you. I was about to say, you sound like somebody that just don't get easily irritated. I try my best.
You know, people like you, when somebody can find that place to stretch, and they go stretch, and they gonna bust you wide open, and you go do some stuff that's gonna have you in that Jeffrey Dahmer category.
You know what? Cut it out. That is
I'm just saying.
That's what makes him the best professional boyfriend ever.
Professional boyfriend is that husband come along and stretch. What the husband gonna scratch?
Well, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what I do every morning, and let me tell you what happened today. All right. I meditate every morning. The first thing I do when I wake up.
Good.
I want my energy to be poised on the positive side in order to draw positivity to myself. Now, what happened to me is that today in the mail, I got, I've been looking at this meditation system for a couple years now. And it's called quantitative meditation, integrated quantitative meditation. And I've been wanting to check it out for a couple of years. I went on ahead, even during the COVID, I went on ahead and paid the money for it, and it just came into the mail. And I'm extremely excited about this particular meditation technique. In my life, over and above what I, being a professional boyfriend, I strive for balance in the things that I do and the things that I'm interested in just life in general, and trying to become more of a spiritual person, so to speak.
And that's an awesome thing. You got to take that journey for sure.
And so those, you have to take the pleasures in life when and where you can get them. That just made my whole entire week for me. I don't really have any complaints from last week or this week.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. So, look, you know what? My husband over here trying this finger thing on me. No, sir. We're going to do this later. Okay, so tell us where we can reach you and how we can get in contact with you if they're interested in more information. Tell us how to hit you
Sure.
up.
All right. The best way to reach me is to go to my website, anthonyasanti.com. And send me, if you're interested in sharing some time with me, you go to my booking page. If you just had some questions, then you can raise that question in the contact page. You can also interact with me on Twitter, anthonyasanti.com. Anthony Asanti is my handle name. And on Instagram, Anthony.Asanti, and on Facebook, Anthony Asanti1.
Gotcha.
And of course, my telephone number. So 202
which is on the screen.
643 8034. If you can't reach me at one of those places, I don't know what to tell you. You don't want to reach me.
Yeah, Yeah, I totally agree. We got all the info, everything. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us again. We appreciate you for joining us on the Tipplers. Guys, if you're listening to us on YouTube, thank you so much. On Facebook, thank you so much. If you're listening to our podcast on whatever platform is your preference, which is mine, Spotify, thank you so much for listening to us. We appreciate you. If you want to get in contact with us, of course, you can go to www.turningthetiplersloose.com, where you can buy great t-shirts like this. This liquor ain't cheap. We got all kinds of stuff going on over there.
Even get a great one, but nothing on it. Yeah.
Great one, yeah. Blank t-shirt? You want to give a blank t-shirt?
Well, I ain't gonna give it. They gonna pay for it.
You know, a blank t-shirt? You know what? I can't. Look, you know what? That's a great gimmick. We should just put a blank t-shirt up there and be like, pay for it.
Blank t-shirt.
Okay. Or either say, hey, put a glow light to it and it'll say something, but it won't say nothing at all. But anyway, so
I love that.
That would be the total prank. Okay. Also, you can you can join our Patreon. And because we're 18 plus content, you have to type in www.patreon.com/Tipplers Loose, or you can just go to our website, click on the link at the top, where you can pay for top-notch content, like joining us on the uncensored version on every Thursday at 8:30, where we talk even deeper than we talk tonight.
We have conversations. We interact with
our
viewers.
patrons.
Like the viewers can talk, tell us their views, how they curse us out.
Absolutely.
In fact, if you don't like me,
cuss them out. I do it all the time.
Peter, please.
I do it all the time.
Best person.
And guess what? You can cuss this dude out for as little as $5 a month. Like, who can beat that?
I'll take it. Oh, yeah. I don't care what animal crimes. F you. Jump back there. F you. You can march on the streets. That's all I care. I'll march with you, to be honest.
Oh, my gosh. Y'all.
I'll march for $5.
I'll take it. Y'all. Look, you call me anything, just call me fat. I appreciate y'all so much for joining us. You know what, shit?
They'll go there first.
They gonna call me fat?
They go fat first.
You call me fat, but not my body. All right, guys. Thank you for joining Turning the Tipplers Loose.
All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. We're going to play this theme song and we're going to get out of here.
Well, you got to stay on with the theme song.
No, you got to dance our theme song. You got to dance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have a call I need to take, but go ahead.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Look, do your job.
Do your job. There you go.
Okay. All right. Take care. Bye, Leah. Bye.
Hey, look, I'm gonna make a little rap.
You do your own thing?
Oh shoot! I scream with black again. That's how it does this.
When you gonna see that face, man, boy.
Turn the Tipplers loose on a Monday. Let's make it oh so fun day. Drinking, talking, laughing, tripping out. Hey, that's what the Tipplers are all about. Pour your drink, sit back and relax. Right here, Monday, 7:30 is where it's at. Tipping the topics. Come on, let's go. Let's dive in. Enjoy the show.
Hey, turn the Tipplers loose. We got Andria Asanti here. He's gonna make y'all cheer. He's a professional boyfriend, you know. Hey, I don't know.
He lay that dick on the floor.
It's not in the floor.
He gonna put a dick in you. If you get a dick in, nigga ain't giving it to you.
No.
You know where to go.
He giving you Bondassage.
Stuff on day will do to you.
He's massaging every part of you.
Give your fingertips a two.
Hey.
You lose. You lose them two fingers in you. Oh.
All right, guys.
We're back.
Thank you. Bye.